Hello and welcome back to another episode of Cooking with Sunny.
Today we're making a spiced lamb stuffed naan, also with some muenster cheese. This thing was incredible. All good Indian food starts with toasting of the spices. It just has some onions, some garlic, some ginger, some chilies, some tomato paste for richness. This is one of those things you eat and you literally want to cry as you're eating it. So if you haven't already made the naan recipe, you're going to want to learn that first, and then I would move on to this next, as it is something that is just truly incredible, and I would love for you to try it. Look at that!
So first things first, if you have not yet already learned how to make the naan dough, that's going to be the first thing. I'm going to put a link up to that right here. This is also going to be part of our naan series. We're going to do sweet naan, stuffed naan, cheesy naan, all kinds of naan. We'll all definitely be naan related. By the way, if you have not yet subscribed, please do. It's going to be a wild ride and I want you along for it. First thing we're going to do here is just flour a portion of a work surface, just lightly. That'll do. Now we're going to take our dough and begin to make some balls. So I'm just rolling this in my hand to make a ball. About that size. You know, that's probably about, I don't know, 3 ounces, 3-ounce ball or so. Back onto the work surface. And just repeat with the rest of your naan. So, you know, some of these aren't exactly the same size and they're not in perfect balls, but that is okay because naan is meant to be in kind of weird shapes. So I'm gonna cover these with just a damp, warm towel. We're just letting them re-proof so they'll fluff up more because we want a really fluffy, nice, light, airy naan. So I just got a cold cast iron pan here and we're gonna add our spices to this. I would say all good Indian food starts with toasted spices, right? This is a step you should not skip. That's coriander going in, cumin. I'll be putting some mustard seed in here. So just get your pan going over a nice low heat and we're gonna let these roll, mixing them occasionally for about 10-15 minutes. There's something so magical about when you're toasting spices, getting ready to make some Indian food, the aromas that fill the house. Everyone will enter the kitchen and go, oh my God, what are you cooking? So definitely don't skip that step. That is really clutch here. So I'm actually just gonna use half an onion for this recipe. For the amount of lamb I have, it is perfect. So we're gonna do this on nice small dice. If that ever happens, you can just tuck it back in. It's no big deal. Turn to the side, once through the middle, and thin this way. When you get down to the end, drop it down, chop that, and you're done. There's your onion. Just go ahead and pop that into a bowl. And we're gonna slice up some ginger. I just like to take the tops and tails. I have a tiny little spoon I'm gonna use for this, and I'm just keeping my thumb there. I've got the spoon tucked between my finger, and I'm just gonna start peeling it. The blunt edge of a spoon is just the perfect thing for grabbing the skin of a ginger and taking it all off. Okay, so now we're just gonna slice it lengthways, pretty thin as you can. And then I'm just gonna run my knife through this way, so I get it into little strips. Now do your best to push it together and turn it the other way. I'm just gonna slice one more time. You can run your knife through it a little bit more if it wasn't fine enough, but I'm happy with this, looks great. Add your ginger in with the onions. And do some garlic. Obliterate it with your knife. Start chopping. Just gonna get it to the same size we did with the ginger. And add it to the rest of your onions and ginger. Just hear those little mustard seeds toasting. They jump. Look. What did I say about magical, right? Look at that. So those have been going for 10 minutes. I've just added them to the mortar and pestle. We're gonna let them cool and then we'll grind them up. Okay, now that your spices are chilled, let's go ahead and grind them up. Oh my God, the aroma that comes off of this is insane. Okay, now to this mixture, I'm adding some garam masala, some chili powder. If you want it to be spicy, just put more. And some fresh ground black pepper. Give that a nice little mix. I wish you could smell this at home because, oh my God. And there's your spice mix. Okay, I've got a ripping hot cast iron pan. I'm just gonna be adding a little bit of avocado oil, but you could use whatever neutral high flash point oil you have. So now I'm gonna be adding the lamb. I've chosen a really fatty lamb that's just gonna stay nice and tender inside of our naan. Break it up a little bit as you drop it in. Season the lamb. So what I'm gonna do here is just push this lamb to one side of the pan, like that. We're gonna add our onions, garlic, and ginger to this side of the pan. I'm gonna cut up a little bit of Fresno chilies because I like heat, but I don't want it to be too spicy. So I'm just gonna add a little bit. Not too much, just minced like the ginger and garlic. Add that in. So guys, normally I wouldn't do this, but the lamb is so fatty that I need to get some of that fat off. I'm just gonna drain some off because we just don't need it. We're losing our heat is what's happening here. So we're gonna drain off a good amount of that. You know, and a good way to break up ground meat when you're doing this, whether it's for a chili or whatever it is just using a whisk straight up and down. And just kind of smashing up the meat a little bit. We want this to be small, right? So it fits inside the naan nicely. So at this point, we're gonna add some of our spice mixture. The recipe calls for a little more than we need. I'm using about half of mine, but you might want more or less depending on your taste. Mix that in. Ooh. Now it smells insane. Last thing we're gonna add is some tomato paste. This is gonna bring a lot of richness and depth to the dish as well as hold it together nicely. And remember, when you're working with tomato paste, you wanna cook it down for quite a while. It's really gonna change that tart flavor into something insanely better. The smells here, oh my God. Let's give it a taste, right? We're tasting it now mostly for spice and seasoning. Perfection. We don't need to do anything more now but to cool it down completely before we build our naan. Of course, if you wanted to add some cilantro or other herbs to this, you could do that. I'm just gonna stick with this. I'm gonna empty this out onto a plate, flatten it out so it cools down quickly. You know, when you're cooling things down, you want to get it away from being a mass. And so we can do something like this. Just paint some lines in it, and that's just going to allow airflow between. As it cools, it'll cool a lot quicker. I'm going to put this into the freezer. Okay, so those have been re-proving for half an hour. Let's have a look. Wow. So you can see they've really doubled in size. Again, this is exactly what we want. Wonderful. Okay, so now we are gonna roll out our naan. Let's just put a little bit of flour down. Spread some off to the side. We'll make the naan right here. Can't tell you how good this feels. Can you see how soft and fluffy, right? So straight down. Start rolling it out. Just starting from the middle and pushing it out. Flip. One more time, flip. We just gotta make sure this does not stick. And that's perfect. Since this is a Keema Naan, we want this a little bit oversized so we can fold it up and then it'll be normal size. Now that our lamb mixture is cool, we're gonna start building this. So just put some down in the middle, leaving the edges open like that. I'll show you why in a sec. You know, I know this isn't traditional, but sue me, man, this is my channel. I'm putting muenster cheese. I love the subtle flavor, I love the way it melts. More lamb. Okay, now we're gonna take the sides and just bring them all up to the top. Pat that down. Now back with your rolling pin, just lightly. You don't want to crush this or break it open. We just want to even it out a little bit. Right, that looks perfect, man. I mean, you know, you could put less or more stuffing as you wish, but I'm just gonna stick with this. So I've got a pan on over medium heat. I'm just putting a little bit of avocado oil down. Drop our naan. You know, and you can always just sort of peek under to see what it looks like. Okay, that's been cooking for 1.5 minutes. Let's go ahead and turn it. Lovely. I'm gonna hit this with a little bit of finishing salt right now while that oil's hot so it'll stick. Okay, another 2.5 minutes on that side. Let's transfer to a board. Set that down. I don't think it's possible that you're excited as I am to cut this baby in half, man. It smells so good. The texture seems amazing. I'm also serving this with a cucumber raita. I just made a video on this. I'll put a link to that right there. Oh my God, here we go. Do I look like binging with Babish? Okay. Oh man, look at that. Look. Woo! I'm stoked, I'm amped, I'm pumped, I'm excited, I'm psyched, I'm all of those things right now. You know, I'm gonna pay it tribute by just trying it alone. So good. Let's try it with the raita. It's gonna help offset the heat from the lamb. Oh. I say this a lot. That is mind-blowingly good. Are you guys making these recipes yet? If not, why not? Also, if you wanted to brush that with some like garlic and cilantro butter to even take it to the next level, you could do that as well. Oh my God, oh my God. I rarely eat this much in an outro, so that should tell you something. I just polished off an entire half of that thing. I don't have words. Well, that is it for today, my friend. I hope you found some value in this content right here. And if you liked it, do not forget to leave me a like and do not forget to subscribe. And I will see you next time.